but it's just going to take a little time. But real quick,
take much time.
yeah, just real quick, I want to explain something to you. Okay, everything, first off, is made of atoms. We are considered to be cellular beings. This is considered to be a cellular existence, okay? The cells that make up the parts of us are made up of atoms, okay? Now, the atoms in these cells create the cells through an exchange of energy, okay? The cell itself is not an object, okay? Now remember, you're made up of a bunch of cells. This is made up of a bunch of cells, okay? But the cell itself is not an object. It's an exchange of energy between two atoms. There's just a really high level of energy in, say, this wood. But I believe it was Isaac Newton, or it might have been Stephen Hawking who said, it was Stephen Hawking who said, if one were to scale an atom to the size of an apple, the distance in between two atoms in any solid object would be like an apple in the Sahara Desert and an orange in the United States. That's how far apart any atom and any solid object is. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's how far apart each and every one of these atoms are. So they're actually not, there is no solid object. There's just a strong exchange of energy. And yes, these molecules, the cellular structure is alive. And it's exchanging energy and it's preventing my hand from going through this table. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an exchange of energy. This is where the term, the ancient Asian phrase, emptiness is form and form is emptiness, comes from. Because they have that understanding that this is emptiness is form and form is emptiness, meaning there is no solid structure to anything. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just an exchange of energy. Okay, so what a gas is, in the most elemental terms, what a gas is just something that has atoms that are spread even further apart. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's just that atoms are spread further. This could become a gas through the application of, say, heat. Really hot. It becomes really hot. It will penetrate the energy in between these atoms, and this will become a gas because its atoms will be separated.
So the closer atoms are together, the more solid a substance is? Or?
The nature of the atom creates how solid. They're really never close. Atoms hardly ever touch. Well, it would be colossal. They don't touch.
Cells touch them, right?
Cells touch. Yeah, cells touch for all intents and purposes. But again, if you're going to look at a cell that's an exchange of energy, it's really not touching. Nothing is ever touching, really.
Is that what the atom bomb is? Making two atoms?
It's splitting the atom, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's it because an atom is full of energy. See what I'm saying?
Splitting one atom?
One atom. Yeah, it will do a lot of damage.
So if you touch two, like it's never been done, you probably can't.
I don't know if it's been done. I couldn't tell you. But basically, so the gas that basically, to answer your question, the gas that these planets are made up of is just simply a further exchange or a weaker exchange of energy between these atoms. Okay? Make sense? Yeah?
Oh. This is heavy. I mean, not heavy, but like it sounds like a whole bunch of much, and I'm trying to put it together with the cells and atoms stuff.
Atoms and cells and atoms. Protons, neutrons, electrons.
What is it? What is it exactly?
Okay, well, the cell is basically.
I know you do better with pictures. Okay, actually, this could be used. Okay, listen. If this whole thing is a cell, and the cell is the basic solid, it's the last form of this. Yeah, it's the last form of something solid that we know of, that we can define as solid. It's a cell. Okay, everything's made up of a bunch of cells. Inside of the cells are atoms.
Oh, an atom is inside of the cell?
The atoms are inside. Well, yeah.
The cell is made of the atom, correct?
The atoms are, because I want to, the atoms are inside the cell, okay? You got positive, negative, and all kind of other stuff. But if you look at the atoms as inside the cell, they exchange energy, and the energy that they exchange creates this bubble.
But I thought that is the cell. That bubble's the cell, right?
Yeah, but it's if it's considered a solid, then the atoms exchanging energy creates that solid form.
Oh, I was thinking the atoms was big and the cells were small.
Yeah, atoms is inside, they exchange energy and they create the cell.
Okay, I got it.
Okay?
I was just getting confused because I was thinking
Cool.
the cell and the atom was two different things.
So basically the gas is atoms, a bunch of atoms that are really far apart or exchanging, or have a weak exchange of energy. Okay? That's why I said if this could turn into a gas by applying heat to it, if you burnt it,
Yeah.
it looks like it disappears, but really just the atoms spread apart.
Okay. They turn into ashes.
They turn into ashes, or they look like these. If you look past it, it gets wavy. That's gas.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, like when you put the stove on and let the heat rise up, and if you really look at it, you see
That's gas.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the gaseous nature of those planets. Now, Sopdet. What's up? What's on your mind?
It's too deep.
What?
Yeah. I was just gonna say that, like, I was just thinking about gaseous planets. I was gonna say if they're all gas, then I mean,
How are they considered form?
yeah, how are you considering it a planet? Like,
That's how we challenge. That's one of the ways. See, this understanding, gaining this understanding, it's basic. It's very elementary. But what we're trying to do is spark critical and analytical thinking.
And what's holding
So-
all this gas in this one spot? Like
Energy.
more gas?
Energy exchanged between atoms. But again, this is one of those times when you can take a saying like emptiness is form and form is emptiness. It's something that is considered abstract, eccentric, esoteric, something that's unwarranted in the Western world. Emptiness is form and form is emptiness.
It's kind of like applying your knowledge of the signs to it, because if you remember, every sign has a planetary ruler, and the sun is one of those things. And it's not like a rock or anything like that. It's the sun. You know what I'm saying? So if the sun could be considered a planet, so can Jupiter and Neptune.
It's considered a planet because it has an image. Because there's an image, there's a solid form. Plus, there's rings that surround these gas giants.
So what's the
Plus, it's speculation. Nobody's been there.
But what's to say that Jupiter is in the center of our solar system and that's everything? Why does everybody think the sun holding everything? And why is it not Jupiter that's holding? Because it's just like the sun but bigger. Why isn't the Jupiter's gravity pulling everything in?
Because the sun is stationary. The sun has been proven to be stationary from a lot of different sources. More recently, which I consider some of the weakest sources, is satellites that have went out and taken pictures and noticed that the celestial bodies move around the sun.
But I thought the sun was a star. How is it going to be a planet and a star at the same time?
That's why we titled this lesson The Worlds. Because the ancient people viewed all of this as worlds. And that would be a more accurate, in my opinion, it would be a more accurate definition. Worlds. So each of these is worlds. So in terms of how you're going to label them is irrelevant, because it's about the activity, it's about what they attributed to the universe. You know, understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Oh yeah. No, well, it's
But we're
like
giving you
those-
these vocabulary words because this is what the contemporary literary sources refer to, and we would not be considered an educational institution if we didn't conform to conventional standards.
So is those gas balls, those last four in the outer solar system, are they giving us life? Like without those in existence, will we be able to survive?
Good question.
Okay.
No clue. That's purely speculation. Okay? But this is perfect. This is perfect. This dialogue is perfect because the purpose of this is to get an understanding of solar system. So, now I want to move to, if we can, one of my favorite subjects, Sopdet. Does anybody know what Sopdet is?
Sop that up with a biscuit.
Sop that up with a biscuit.